Thank you very much for joining. We've joined here by Rodrigo from accounting.com. They're a crypto tax software accounting firm, so they can help people track their crypto portfolios. And Rodrigo's going to be explaining how to get started with tracking crypto portfolios, where to keep crypto, and how to keep control of different portfolios that can often be stored in numerous exchanges and wallets. And I think we all know people that have lost various parts of crypto portfolios just from having them stored in various places that they've even forgotten or lost access to. So Rodrigo is going to be giving an overview as to keeping on top of crypto portfolios and how to manage those. So Rodrigo is CMO from the firm accounting.com. So Rodrigo, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Erica, for having me here. So one of the main things that I want to ask right now, like if you can raise your hand or in any way, like how many of you have just recently started on crypto, like let's say 3 months?
There is a raise hand function there. So if anyone that's just within the last 3 months got into crypto, just press that. So only a few people.
So there's a few people.
Yeah. The majority have been in crypto for longer, I would assume.
Majority have been for more than 1 year. How many people have been in crypto for more than 1 year? Okay.
That's numbers coming up there a bit. So
sounds good. Vale, so just to get a sense of where you guys at.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. So basically, for those that are new, welcome. And then for those who have been here like the longest, I guess you're going to be very acquainted with a lot of the pain points that I'm going to be mentioning, right? So as you're probably aware, there's more than 7,500 cryptocurrencies currently in the space, right? And with that, there's around 300 wallets and exchanges as well in the space, right? So when you start trading or when you start like on your journey, I bet you can imagine like how you started off with maybe buying Bitcoin, and then from buying Bitcoin you went to buying other tokens. Then you met with some friends, or you saw in a Reddit post or in a subreddit that they were mentioning about this particular token, and so on and so forth. So you started buying Bitcoin, then you moved to an exchange, let's say a Coinbase or an Uphold or a Binance. And then from there, you decided like, I want to buy this other token that is only available in this other exchange. And then someone told you about like, but make sure that you have your tokens safely secured in a wallet. So you had to also get a wallet. And that's how like that whole mechanic or all the different sources of data came about. And at some point you lost track of where all that information went to, right? If I had to ask you today how much do you currently have in crypto, a few of you might be able to tell me exactly how much you're currently holding, right? In terms of cryptocurrency. So the idea behind Cointing is that you have a platform that allows you to keep track of all your different cryptocurrencies in their different wallets and exchanges, right? So let me show you right now. This is a portfolio that holds different types of cryptocurrencies in different wallets and exchanges, right? So here we have Argent, we have Coinbase wallet, we have a ABBC coin. This currently does not hold anything right now. Then we have, as exchanges, we have Coinbase, Uphold, Binance, some Chili's, right? BlockFi, FTX, Poloniex, 55 Global Markets, Kraken, and Bittrex, right? And then here we have the mobile version of the same thing, right? So the good thing about why do we have both a mobile, like an app version, and the desktop version? You will be doing different tasks, or you will be requiring different information while you're on your phone or while you're in the desktop. No, so we created the app as a way for you to be able to track all your different wallets and exchanges from in a very easy way. No, so you can actually import different types of wallets and exchanges here just by searching through them. So let's say you want to add Coinbase, we have a direct connection. But in case like I already have Coinbase connected, but if I want to add more data, I can just select Coinbase and select the token that I want to add, and boom, that's it, right? I can just add buys and sells or transfers that I have done with Coinbase, right? If you want to add something else, let's say, let's do an example here to Bbox. So you can just connect the exchange. You have your API keys. If your exchange already has an app, it's very easy for you to just like copy the API key, like generate the API keys, the secret key, and just add it here, right? Or you can also add your transactions manually, right? So you say add manually anyway, and so on and so forth. So the idea is that you're gonna be able to track both your portfolio once you have imported all your different sources of information, right? Basically, what you have here is different data sets that are compiled into one single platform in order to provide you with insights or basically analytics about your portfolio, right? So we start with with a header where you have like a general value of your portfolio. You also have it here, right? You also have a delta. You can switch if you click on the app. You can switch if you want to see your profile in whatever currency you currently are looking at it, or if you want to switch that to Bitcoin, right? So the same thing here. You can switch in the type of currency that you want to check out your portfolio. And as you can see here, we have basically when did you buy or sell those tokens when you select on the token itself, and the same idea here. You'll have some different information, and you'll have different information. This is because so you'll have, if you see it in the app, you won't have the candlestick chart as you would have here on the dashboard. And the idea is that in the dashboard, you're gonna have like, well, a bigger screen. Hence, you can deep dive more into your information. While you're in the app, you're gonna make more like concrete decisions in terms of like how do you want to go about different stuff, right? So I'm currently on Bitcoin, and the idea here is like I want to add this to my watch list, for example. So you click on the star, or you want to set an alert, right? So if you set an alert, you can just add it there, and it will just generate an alert for whenever you want to do that, right? So that's kind of the things that you want to do when you're on your mobile, right? Then going back to the analytics that you get access to through the different types of platform, right? Here, as we were seeing, you can do you can even see the entire performance of your portfolio. You can see them individually, like we did also with the app. You can also at the end, you can also see your portfolio allocation and understand how is your current portfolio distributed, right? So in my case, or in this case, I can tell you I have 53.1% of my portfolio. It's allocated in Bitcoin, 20.8 in Ethereum, 13.6 in Ren, 5.6 in Link, and 6.9 in other, right? But if you want to break down those, then here you can see like how much is there for each of them, right? We do have some like whenever you have like low balance coins, like that the value is very low, you can choose to hide it or keep it, just because this doesn't become like an endless scroll. And even so, you can also do like visit this page in mobile as well, right? So you can do both. The idea is that you can like have both platforms helping you out keep track of your portfolio. Let's say that you go and you pay for a coffee, right? With Bitcoin or Ethereum, or you purchase for anything in particular. The idea is that through the app, you're gonna be able to add that to your well, basically for your bookkeeping, and that way always have like the a very precise outlook of what your portfolio is currently looking, right? You also have like the price, so you can get to see like at what price did you buy different tokens, at what price did you sell different tokens for each specific token, or overall, no? And then finally the net profit. So it tells you like how has been your profit since you like through your purchases, and how your performance has been overall, right? You have the different time periods, and you also have that in the app as well. You can select, one sec, you can select here, you can either go for the candlestick chart, or you can go by the linear graph as well, right? You won't have the buy sells, but as we said, this is more of a to get a general idea of how the performance of your different cryptocurrencies are going. We will also provide you with like the profit and loss, right? The 24-hour value change and your average buy price for each token that you currently have. So you might be wondering, like, this is something that no other like that the exchanges or the different wallets won't be providing you because they don't have an idea of what's happening with your other wallets or your other exchanges, right? What we try to do is like consolidate everything into one, so you have a very concrete idea of what is happening with your specific tokens and how is that performing in your overall portfolio, right? So that's kind of a deep dive on the overview of your portfolio. The idea is to provide you as much information for you to get basically the entire picture of how your portfolio is performing. One of the key things in the desktop version is also the percentage between exchanges and wallets. And why is that? You might be aware of already about the Cryptopias, or you might be aware already about the Quadriga CX and all these other exchanges that completely went bankrupt, and you had like your tokens there and you lost those, right? But managing you're managing your portfolio and understanding that you need to like move those resources from a place that it can be highly insecure to another one where you actually have control over your keys. It's very important, right? So right now I have 62% of my portfolio in exchanges and 38% in wallets. A very smart move would be to move that part of that portfolio into wallets, just so I'm 100% safe that I have control over that, over those funds that are currently allocated in an exchange that I'm not 100% sure that is it's going to be safe, right? With your wallets, you're going to be more confident and way more secure than if that's being held in an exchange, right? One of the next things that we currently have here in the desktop version is the performance, right? So you're going to be able to see how each token has been performing in terms of the realized gains and the unrealized gains. So what are the realized gains? Realized gains basically, well, we explain here with little tooltips, but it's the negative realized gains for fiat currencies is the total fees you have paid in those currencies, right? Unrealized gains is basically, well, the opposite of that, right? So for those tokens that you haven't made any sale or you haven't made any transaction, that won't generate realized gains, right? So to be very concrete here, that means that I changed REN to another token, or I've sold REN and cashed out, for example, right? Just to give you an idea and what happened with those tokens. So I'm gonna move now to the more concretely into the app, so you can like visualize a little bit better what is feasible within the app. So as I was explaining to you guys, the app will provide some information that you currently don't have in the desktop. So here you will have well the portfolio allocation that's available in the desktop, but you also have the performance versus other that will allow you to see how and what percentile are you currently at versus other people's portfolio. Or currently, Accounting has over 60,000 users, so that's basically what you're comparing yourself to. It's a great indicator, or it gives you a good idea of in your current portfolio allocation. If you compare that I don't know, week on week, and see that your portfolio, that you're always on the top percentile, you can get an overview of, okay, even though my overall performance went down, I'm still in a very good percentile, right? So it's obviously you have to take it with a grain of salt, but it does provide you some context about your different portfolios, about your overall portfolio. Then I want to deep dive on the markets page. So on the markets page, basically you have all the different tokens, and you can like filter them down by different types of variables, right? So you have the market cap. You can also do it by the price, right? From ascending order or descending order. You can do the 24-hour percentage change for some of the tokens, right? And then one of the really cool features that you have here in accounting, it's the list feature. So you remember that we added the, if we go back to the market page, we have this little star here. So if I click on the star, that's gonna be added to my list. And in my list, I can see my overall, the overall performance of my lists, right? And and that just helps me understand like all those projects that I've been adding constantly to my watch list, are they good projects in terms of like what I want to what I want to achieve for my profile. But the cool thing is that I can also organize them by specific types of currencies, right? So I created my DeFi list. This is a very small example, but just to give you an overview, is like adding DeFi, adding different types of like DeFi tokens into one list, so I can compare those with other types of tokens, right? So you can do one about oracles, you can do one about NFTs, you can do one about, I don't know, specific investors. Or if you have trouble figuring out like some ideas on what type of list to create, we created like 15 different lists that you can use in order to get an idea of what would be interesting for you, right? So we have NFTs, storage tokens, oracles, Ethereum killers, Polychain portfolio, Pantera portfolio, Binance Labs, DeFi posts, so on and so forth, right? So the idea is like you can use these different lists, so you can understand a little bit more the different crypto industries or the different crypto sectors that are being created lately, right? So we have, for example, for NFTs, you have Mana, San, UOS, Digo, so on and so forth, right? So that's really cool. And then when you're done with that, and you want to check out like what are the things that you've currently been, like the list that you created, or if there any particular token, where is it located, you can always use like the search button, and it will find like either the list for you or find the coins that you're looking for as well, right? And then finally you have your alerts. Your alerts, basically you put like your the different types of alerts that you want to receive depending on the price of Bitcoin, right? So if it goes down or if it goes up, you can also like define the price and it will just be safe. And another cool feature within the alerts screen is the are you bullish or bearish. So basically, as we said, we have over 60,000 users, so it gives you like some sort of idea of the market sentiment regarding the market. So I don't know, right now we want to say okay, we're bullish, so it tells you like how many people actually voted saying that they're currently bullish on the market, right? And the other nice thing is about accounting is that if you want to share your portfolio but you don't want to actually share how like your actual numbers, you can always hide your balances, right? So if someone is asking you like, hey, how are you doing with your portfolio, you can like you can show your data without actually showing your like your performance, right? So you want to say like, oh, my portfolio, it's 53% is allocated in crypto, in Bitcoin, 20% is allocated in Ethereum, and 13.6 is allocated in rent. You can actually share this information without revealing the total value of your portfolio, right? So it's actually very useful information, and you can help out people. If we go here, it also hides this information. So if you want to share your average buy price and so on and so forth, you still get to show that information without like helping you keep your privacy, right? So that's very nice. And then another cool thing is you're also going to be able to share those tokens, right? So let's say Spike, and you have a friend that you like him to check out this token, you can always share that, right? And if he also has a coin thing, you can also share, you can share that token with that with that friend, and he will be able to get that, he will be able to get that token, open it in a coin thing, and you can discuss that freely, right? So what that helps you is to create the sense of like if you have a group of friends where you're trading or you're like discussing different types of tokens, you can go through the app, review it really quickly, and make a decision if like if it makes sense or if you've heard some rumors about it and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say with all of this is like having all these different types of tools, what it helps you out is to A, help you consolidate all your different sources of information into one single place. B, it gives you an overview of your entire portfolio, knowing exactly where your tokens are allocated, what you can actually how much of those tokens are allocated in what exchange and wallet, and that will also help you out whenever the time comes to keep everything into one single platform that provides you with a tax report, right? So you don't need to go and search for another platform just to handle your taxes. You have everything consolidated into one single platform, and that will allow you to keep track of absolutely everything. Does your software cover UK HMRC regulation? Absolutely. We use the shared pool method for tax purposes. So we handle that. We are, I think, one of the few tools that actually uses the shared pool method to correctly to track your in terms of taxes, right? That's why you're asking. We do the shared pool with a bed and breakfast methodology, and then we do cover Coinbase. We have a direct connection with Coinbase. We also cover Celsius, crypto.com, and Gemini. For crypto.com, I believe we don't have an API connection yet. Let me just double check here while you're here. So it depends on which one you have, but for example, here you have to do it manually. And for the other one, you can upload the file, right? If you have the app. So you can just import your transactions. If a wallet isn't supported, can I upload CSV files? Absolutely, you can. You can actually write to us in the community board, which is community.accounting.com. And there you can request for a specific API to be added or for any specific wallet to be added, and people can vote on it. The more votes it has, the faster it moves in our development pipeline. How secure is your platform? Are my wallets protected? Absolutely. In our hub, if you go to accounting.com, let me show you real quick. If you go to the hub, you can go into the security area, and we explain very thoroughly how does accounting handle that. I'm not going to go into the details of that because it's a lot of security measures that we have, but you can deep dive there if you can. What makes this software different to Coinly or CoinTracker? Well, so I'm going to start first with Coinly. Coinly, it's purely, they currently don't have an app, right? So they're not a portfolio tracker. In terms of the calculations, I would dare to say that our calculations are way more accurate just because of how we bring or how we calculate for the different sources of information inside of accounting. And if you can actually get a inside of that, because we offer a free tax report up to 25 transactions, just for you to get a sense of like the different types of outputs that you get with accounting. The type of report that we generate is super specific. It goes it's super detail oriented, and the reason why it is like that, it's because us ourselves are using the platform to report our own taxes. Hence, we want to make sure that whatever we report is as accurate as possible. And regarding CoinTracker also has an app. The functionalities in terms of the app are way different than the ones that we have. I would say that our app it's a bit more advanced. The amount of connections that we offer is also higher for accounting than with CoinTracker. And I would dare to say that the support that we also offer, it's the SLAs are way faster with accounting than with CoinTracker. Obviously, I'm a bit biased because I work for accounting, but from what I've seen from different blogs and Reddit posts, that's kind of the main concern. I'm assuming this is a centralized app. How are the authentication details for each platform managed and stored? That's from Cas Traversal. Cas, again, if you go to the hub, you can get a little bit more insights of how we handle the information inside of accounting. It is a centralized app, and there you can check out how we deal with the authentication details. I can mention right now that we use Amazon Web Services and OAuth just for the connections between Coinbase and Uphold. We use Auth0 in order to make sure that we don't have access to any of your API keys. So using a third party and like giving that that responsibility to a third party that like solely dedicates to that. It's the approach that we decided to take for that because they're security experts basically. Michael Saylor, is there a free version of a CoinDean that does what the run through does? Absolutely. That's another one of the main difference that we have with our competitors is that everything that you've seen thus far is for free. You can import as many wallets and exchanges as you want. We won't charge you 1 cent. We will only charge you whenever you want to whenever you want to export a tax report. So our business model basically is based on tax reports. We sell those, and everything else we use that we use that to get users, right? That's the business model. We offer the platform, the tracking features and the desktop features for you to be able to analyze and get analytics out of your portfolio. And then whenever you need a tax report, then we also have that for you at a specific cost, right? Armin Aber, the same thing. How secure is this? Again, I would invite you, Armin, to visit the hub in Accounting, and you'll get a deeper insights of how secure Accounting is. Apologies, I missed the beginning, but wanted to know the difference between hodling and trading for tax purposes. So that will depend, Justin. I believe you're in the UK, right? So for the UK, long-term holdings doesn't really play a difference for you just because of the type of tax methodology that is used in the UK. So because you use the shared pool method, that won't really make a big difference for you. In countries like Germany and the US, for example, for Germany, if you hold for more than 1 year, your crypto is tax free. And in the US, if you hold for more than 1 year, depending on your tax bracket, well, for more holding for more than 1 year, 15% is fixed for any type of capital gains. And then if you do short term, then it's gonna vary depending on your tax bracket. So I would say that for the UK, hodling is not a huge difference for you guys. If you're in Germany, it's 100% a huge difference, same as in the US. Do you have real people who can answer questions? Yes, Michael. Again, if you guys join the community.accounting.com, you'll see a group of people from Accounting consistently reviewing your comments and your questions, so we can tackle those. The average SLA for those is mostly the biggest amount would be 24 hours, but we try to respond that as fast as possible. Usually, our average response time is around 12 hours. What size of support team does Accounting have for keeping up to date with new coins, and how responsive is the community support? Okay, thank you, Will. So what size of support team does Accounting have for keeping up to date with new coins? So we're currently split between, some of us are based on the CST time zone and the rest are based on the CET time zone. Because we cover, the main countries that we cover are the US, UK, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So we currently have 3 people allocated in responding things over the community board for the CET time zone, or also the BST time zone. And then we have 2 people working for us in the US. So far, so good. If you see the comments in the community board, people are very happy with it. Also, if you join us in Telegram, you'll see that the support is pretty good. We might not be able to resolve your questions immediately, but you will have an answer from us very, very fast. So that definitely can help you out figuring out how to move forward with different stuff, right? Does the platform allow monitoring of LP staking tokens, staking rewards, Ethereum gas cost, lending, borrowing, or actions within exchanges such as derivatives at FTX and Deribit? To be honest, for Deribit, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that for FTX, we're able to do that. Same with ETH, staking, lending, and borrowing. For staking, let me show you here real quickly how does it work in the platform. So if you go here to review, you're gonna be able to see all the different types of transactions that have been done up to date, like that are currently there. And you'll have different types of classifications depending if it's a deposit or a withdrawal. So you see here, you have the classification for staking, swap. And one of the other things that you were asking was if we could import derivatives for FTX. I'm pretty sure that we can. For derivative, as I said, I'm not sure. I can get back to you on that one, Tony. If you ask us in the community board, I would be more than happy to do that for you. But yeah, FTX we definitely support it. So that's one of the if that's one of your concerns. And then the other question that you had was lending and borrowing. So if we go here, you'll see that we have lending, right? So yeah, we can handle those different types of transactions. Can the portfolio be based in any currency other than USD? Yeah. Thank you for that, Mark. So let me show you the current currencies that we support. If you don't mind, give me one sec. So yeah, in the app, these are the different types of currencies that we support. As you can see, um, there are we have I guess we covered from our users the main ones that are being requested. Obviously, if you have any other in mind, you can actually request that in the community board, and we would be more than happy to help you out with that. But yeah, those are the current ones that we support. Let me just bring that back to where I was so I don't see my portfolio wrong. So yeah, in terms of what we do for the desktop, actually, it's a different situation because the type of tax reports that we generate are only for the UK, the US, and the DACH region. So meaning for DACH, you have francs, the euro, right, for Switzerland and Austria and Germany. Then we do the pounds, and then we do the US dollars. If we would change that, it would make sense because the configuration for tax purposes would be wrong, to be honest. So for the app, yes, we do. For the desktop, we currently don't. And next one would be also, there any way to import transaction details from Blockfolio? Yes, we do. Give me one sec. So Blockfolio will generate an output, and then you can you can use that output and import it into a CoinTing in a CSV file. You just need to align the different types of columns provided by Blockfolio and align it with a CoinTing. We currently have a direct connection with Delta in case you're using Delta, but if you want to request for a direct connection or a direct import with Blockfolio, you can do so as well through the community board, and we can include that into our development pipeline. Andrew Parker, I've just connected my MetaMask wallet. It's not showing all of my coins. How can I change that? And what about holdings in MetaMask on different chains? Example, BSC, Polygon, and what about assets in liquidity pools? So regarding the MetaMask, I believe there's an issue with MetaMask currently as we speak. We're working on it. We just had a meeting about it. So we're gonna be taking care of that. For BSC, we added recently the Binance Smart Chain, so you can find it here. You can add it here, and then for Matic Polygon, we have added the Ethereum address. I know that there's an issue, a known issue with MetaMask. We're looking into it, and we will be addressing that very soon. Regarding the liquidity pools, you can also add the liquidity pools, but we have a specific mechanism on how to add them into the platform. We're working on a better way to come about that. But just so you know, there's an article that we wrote about it here in our hub, where you can take a look at how to import liquidity pool transactions into a CoinTing. So that could help you out with your question. Will Cleverly, I struggled with Coinly tracking liquidity pools and Uniswap and SushiSwap and some Sequin farming. How does a CoinTing API integrate that data? Again, Will, as I said, here's a solution that we came up with for that. One of our co-founders is has the same issue, and he's the one who has been pushing for this, and he's the one who came up with this mechanism. Obviously, we're always looking for ways to improve that. So if you have any recommendations or anything that would help out with that, we're more than happy to hear you out and prioritize also that in our pipeline, as long as it helps out or it creates a bigger impact for the whole community. Next question from Justin P. Also, will there be a recording available as I missed the first 10 minutes? Many thanks. I believe it will, right, Erika?
Yeah, we can fill you in, Justin.
Awesome. Okay, yes, you can. Okay. Then Will, again, would you recommend we get a crypto accountant to check over an HMRC tax report I pay accounting to generate, or am I good to submit myself? At the end of the day, Will, is I would say you can check out the reports, make sure that it makes sense. Everything has to be aligned to a specific strategy of how you wanna submit your taxes. That is also aligned to other types of, if you have income coming from crypto, or if it's mainly just capital gains, that would also take a part of it. We always recommend that you double check that with your accountant, just because it's the safest thing to actually do, and to make sure that you won't be flagged by HMRC, right? In our platform, we currently have some partners that can definitely help you out with that. So we added for the UK recently 3 of them. So you can select from them which one would you like to work with. You have all the information here, and they will be more than happy to address that. They know how to use accounting already, so they shouldn't have any problems with it, and they might even help you out optimize your current tax report, right? Because of the classification. Next one, in the UK, I thought hodling would incur capital gains tax, but trading would come under income tax, and losses would be carried forward trading in personal name. Justin, to be quite honest, I'm not expert in crypto taxes for the UK. We do have a crypto tax guide for the UK in our platform. You can check it out. It's here, and it gives you a bigger perspective, or more information about how to handle your income and your capital gains. What I do know is that the holding period for the UK is not relevant for tax purposes, because we know that, because there's a specific feature inside of accounting that is not very useful for UK users, just because it's the holding period feature. Okay, sometimes platforms reject Excel or request certain CSV files. Gets annoying. Do you have a simple template? Yes, Michael, we do have a simple template. I would say it depends on the amount of transactions. We make it easier, or it's just going to become harder. So this is what we recommend. I have fewer than 50 trades. You go for the manual form, where you just add the date, the currency that you receive, the amount, and you would be able to import those. Or the other option is that you do it via our CSV, where you can actually just add the information through a specific CSV that we submit. It comes with a README file as well, so it's easy for you to just add your information. And I guess you had another question, right, Erika? Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's a few in the chat function. So just sort of going from the bottom up, Michael saying, where are you based and who owns accounting?
Vale, so we're based in Zug. You can check out who owns accounting in the About Us page. So basically the co-founders, right? So we have Dennis Wolford, Alex Lindenmeyer, we have Jan Aleman, Kyle Sang, and then Andy Babia. Where is Andy? Andy's somewhere there. But yeah, and here, Andy Babia. So that's the team. We're currently, the headquarters are in Zug, in Switzerland. We're a team that's currently distributed in 10 countries. So we're in Georgia, Poland, Ukraine, Germany, Guatemala, Egypt. Recently, we have someone from London, and then UK, and I'm missing some Scotland, and finally we have someone else from, I can't remember right now, But yeah, it's the team is distributed in amongst 10 countries, and that's how we currently stand right now.
Cool, thank you. And the last question was the one I mentioned earlier from Uzair about crypto wallets. Is there an API for mobile wallets to connect to if anyone has a crypto or DeFi wallet?
API, absolutely. We support over like, so this is all the wallets that we support. It will vary depending on the wallet. So as you can see, we support the main wallets. We have Ledger, we have Trezor. Those are hardware wallets. But we also support the main blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We have Tron, we have Ripple, we have Dash, so on and so forth. If you're currently using coin tracking, for example, you can also import coin tracking into Accounting. This right here is like, for example, you can export your full data set in case you made some like very important changes. You can export your full history, edit it, and then that way you don't have to go through the hassle of importing everything again, right? Especially for tax purposes. So that's the idea behind that. But to answer that concrete question, yeah, like we support the main wallets. I guess you'll have to look through it and see which one works for you. But yeah, here.
Well, the question is if they're building. I know that the chap who's asked the question, they're building their own new crypto wallet. So how they would be able to integrate Accounting.
Vale. So currently in Accounting, we work based on a voting mechanism. So if you go to community.accounting.com, people actually request for specific stuff, right? One of them being wallets and exchanges. So if you create a new topic and you add it there, and you have people vote for it, that's what we use to go to the developers and say like, this is what the community is currently requesting for, and we work based on that, on those requests. To give you a very concrete example, if we go here and this is currently how we filter out. Binance Chain has already been integrated. We integrated the Nexo CSV integration. Gate.io was integrated today, or like it's being worked on the pipeline right now. Lunar actually is not. Bybit is also being integrated in the next following weeks, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how we work, and the idea is that we don't want to we want something that generates an impact across all community, across all Accounting users, because it's kind of a Pareto principle, right? You want to help out as many people as possible, just because that will make the experience for everyone better, basically. So if you have a wallet that you want to integrate with us, you can add it there, and if the community finds it useful or wants to work with it, then it's just going to generate upvotes, and hence it's going to move faster in our pipeline.
Cool, thank you. There's a last question from Andrew Parker. Does the app work equally well on all browsers, or is there a preferred one for best usability?
That's a very good question, Andrew. I would recommend Google Chrome, to be honest. That's the one that we consistently do the testing with. I know for some styling issues in terms of the design, we have some issues with Safari. We're aware of that. I think in the last update we fixed that. I haven't checked, to be honest, but that was the one that I knew there was some issues with. But overall, I say Google Chrome because that's the one that I currently use, and it works fine for me. But it feels like regardless of the type of browser that you use, it should work just fine. One of the really cool things about Accounting is that usually with other apps, you cannot use the mobile version. If you I mean the mobile web version, but if you rotate this, like I cannot do this right now here because I'm on my desktop, but if you rotate this, it will give you will be able to use the desktop version on your mobile. We came up with some other cool widgets like this one that tells you like on the 24-hour report, and it's added values that you can actually have inside of the platform, and provides you with more information, right? So the idea is that to keep building on that. We're very community focused. So the main the main thing that we checked on a daily basis is what the community wants, especially for feature requests. And yeah, that's kind of the main idea behind accounting. We want to build something that takes care of the 80%. Just because we, as a business model, that's our kind of our main focus is helping out as many people as possible at the same time. Just because that's just gonna generate a bigger ripple effect in terms of awareness of the platform.
And from Mark, what kind of historical analysis of my transactions is available, not just the performance, but when tokens were bought and sold and at what price?
I guess, yeah, I think Mark came late, but yeah, here, Mark, I don't know if you can see my screen, but here you can see the buys and sells for your different tokens, right? Well, you can select one at a time, right? But here you can see, for example, with Bitcoin, this is where I sold, at what price, and this is when sorry, the value of the portfolio at that time. Then you can also see the net profits per token, and also check out your buys and sells, right? So here you can say like I bought at, I don't know, at 37, I sold at 44, and so on and so forth, right? And then finally you can also check out your net profits historically, 1 year, 1 month, so on and so forth.
Thank you.
I guess
I will add also that Accounting have given anybody who joins these live chats and anyone in the Crypto Curry Club a 10% discount. So anyone that wants to use the upgraded versions, it's just user code Crypto Curry Club at the checkout, and that will get you a 10% discount. So add that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember that the tracking features, the app is absolutely free, available for Android and iOS. So that's absolutely free. The 10% actually is for whenever you guys want to purchase a tax report. So if you're looking for a tax report, that's when you will need the discount. But for tracking and for tracking purposes, accounting is absolutely for free.
Cool. No, thank you. Did anyone else have any other questions at all for Rodrigo about tax software or otherwise? It's a few comments about love this and that people that will download it. Thank you, Will. It's very kind of you to say.
I think for me, I think give accounting, like what we're trying to do here, guys, is to be honest, is we've seen there's so many different tools available in the market. What we try to do is consolidate everything into one. The idea is to cover the entire journey of the crypto trader. So from the moment that they start purchasing, the moment that they need something to track, the moment that you become more aware of the performance of your crypto tradings, and then finally things that no one thinks about, because the moment that you're making money, you're blinded by the fact that you're making a lot of money and you're not considering the tax purposes. What we try to do is provide a tool that takes care of all that things at once, and then when tax season comes, at least you don't have to go through the burden on figuring out where all your transactions are allocated, how much will you own, the HMRC or the IRS or whatever, or Finanzamt or whatever institution is handling the taxes on your country. And that's the overall idea, right? It's something that you can just leverage on one single platform to take care of all that stuff. We're not at an exchange or wallet, but the idea of having somewhere where you can consolidate all your information just makes it an extremely useful tool in order to understand, like, am I making the right decisions, and am I making the right decisions at the right time, right? At the end of the day, we have this motto in accounting. It's kind of like, what we're building right now, as in terms of a feature or whatever, is it gonna save time to the user, or is it gonna help him make more money, right? So the idea is that all the analytics that we provide and the features that we add should either help you save time or make more money, so you can focus on whatever you want, right? On whatever it's important for you. So that's kind of the overall setup of accounting, right?
Cool, thank you. There's a few more comments. So thank you, Carrie. Glad you enjoyed that. Thank you, everyone else. So the discount code is Crypto Curry Club, all one word. for a 10% discount for anyone who wants to use their software for the premium version. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining and for all of those questions. Thank you, Kerry, for your kind words, and hopefully see you again soon, hopefully in real life, soon. Thank you, Rodrigo, for all of that. I'll be sending out an email with Rodrigo's contact details, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And with links to this. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Do appreciate this, appreciate your time. Hopefully we can all meet again in person in the not too distant future. But everyone, thank you very much for joining, and I'll be sharing Rodrigo's contact details and the discount code for this if anyone does want to follow up with him.
Absolutely. Eric, I just want to say thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much for your questions. I hope I was able to resolve all of them. If not, I invite you to join us. Like we're almost everywhere. So LinkedIn, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, whatever your preferred social media, we're there. We're also in Telegram. We will have a UK CPAs specifically for crypto joining our Telegram group, so you can ask questions. And if at some point you need their help, well, it's a good way to reach out to them. I invite you to also visit the hub where we have very specific information for the UK. We also have the crypto tax guide for the UK. And yeah, here at your service. Anything that we can help you out with, let us know.
Cool. Thank you very much. So everyone, thank you for joining. Thank you for your question. Thank you for Rodrigo for joining us, and hopefully see you all soon.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.